learning. I pushed the button just like you did.
See the little green light in the bottom of the
Yeah.
screen? That tells you when it's
Oh,
on.
it's out of Papa's camera.
Okay.
That's his camera.
What's it for? What's this thing for?
Well, there's Meemaw and Poppy playing with Shawn's learning game.
Can I see what it looks like in there?
What?
Can I see what it looks like in there?
Looks like you.
No, I want to see what it looks like in that thing, please. Please. Can we?
Stop it.
No.
I want to see.
What's it look like?
I don't see everything black and
Move your hand.
I saw a word. I saw a word in there.
Butterfly.
I want to
On
see.
them.
Get away.
I want to see. I dare you press the rabbit.
I wonder if they're learning anything.
Probably not.
Can I see?
Is that all?
See, please?
Well,
Can I see what's that?
there's other games.
Shawn, leave me alone.
There's
Could you please just leave me alone?
Can I get to?
Well, here we are in Delhi, Louisiana, having a little visit with Meemaw and Poppy.
Isn't that something, boy, I tell you.
And that one won't leave me alone.
just so long.
Did you show him all the different cards
there.
that they have? Hi, Daddy.
Are we recording for posterity?
Something like that.
Well, then you need to give them the date and the time.
Oh, there's some on
Okay.
the back too.
It's March 8th, 1991, and it is approximately
12 midnight Eastern Standard Time.
which means it's 11 o'clock here. And we're just lounging around and visiting, and Carol's playing, learning so much.
No.
Hey, there goes the story.
What's your
Joshua's.
favorite?
Shawn, where's your vest? Where'd you get that fancy vest, Shawn? Yeah?
Ooh, listen to that.
That is so cute.
What's that old thing?
That's really cute.
Shawn.
Yeah, that's really cute. Turn around backwards, let me see. Yeah, what's that?
Pony.
Who's that on your shirt?
This?
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute.
Ninja Turtles.
Oh.
Press a picture.
Josh, let's see your vest. You look so cute in it. Turn around. Yeah, it looks great.
How can I get in?
Well, it sure is good to see the folks. They are just really involved in our visit, and
Can I see?
I don't know when we've had so much time, so much fun with Mom and Dad. They are just really, they are just really entertaining tonight, and we're so glad we got to see them.
What's in here?
Well, good morning. It's March the 9th, 1991, and we are in our motel room. And there's Cleopatra, dressed in all her finery.
What do you know? Oh, yeah, okay, so it ends in 5, so the
We,
ending's going to be 25, right?
Shared a
And then
two-room
one more,
suite
the first
with
number is 7,
Cheri
so
and Jim
7
and
times
Josh and
6,
Shawn. They're in there.
4225, right?
And that's the answer, Mike. 4225.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
You won't walk. You're probably been a little while longer.
Now you can turn on the human calculator inside of you and get the right answers to complicated math problems in just seconds. Throw away the clumsy calculator.
March the 9th, 1991, and we are all nestled in the kitchen of the famous
Cynthia Fawcett.
of Cynthia Fawcett's household. And this is it right here.
Yes.
Cynthia Fawcett, the eldest of a group of 6 siblings born to...
No, I'm not the oldest.
Yes, you are.
My brothers are older than me.
I understand. You were born in 1928 and I was born in 49.
No.
No, I think it was.
No, I was born
30.
in 1941.
1940. I thought you would get over that habit of telling lies. And we have to Cynthia's left, we have her little boy. I remember, let's see, you were born in 53, right?
5.
Huh?
9.
5. 55.
I remember getting a postcard from Cynthia. I was in the Army in Fort Bliss, Texas, and the postcard, written by Cynthia, said, I had a little red-haired baby boy this morning, and he is so cute.
You already told us to sell them.
Well, I know, but I'm telling it to the
put it
tape.
on the
Oh,
tape.
okay.
And right here we have, what's your name? This is my
Kathy.
beautiful niece. You notice I didn't say handsome nephew.
Cut.
This is my very gorgeous, vivacious niece, Kathy, who always loved her uncle very much. She liked me too, but anyway, we're glad to see Kathy. How you doing, Kathy?
I'm doing fine. This is a dig dessert.
Big dessert. What are you having? Some high-cal stuff there? Actually, it's lemon ice. ICE.
It's good. It's just hard to eat.
Hard to eat.
Want some of that
And
vanilla.
Kathy is, let's see, you're 22 now, right? Yes.
Should be 21.
22 plus
Shut up.
10. And we have over here a strange person.
Yeah, I'll say.
Strange but nice.
Strange person. Let's see, are you one of my nieces? I can't remember.
It's Sharon. Oh no, that's Jane.
This is whom?
Jane.
Jane Zeka
Jane,
from Romania.
who is a friend of,
What is your last name, Jane?
Zeka.
What kind
My
of
family were
Zago?
refugees. Zeka.
Zeka?
Zeka.
Zeka.
Zeka, that sounds
They came
Greek.
over on the boat.
They come over on the boat?
Is that Greek? Zeka?
No, Romanian.
Romanian, oh. Anyway, Carol, where you are?
Where did Sarah go?
Sarah,
Take a picture.
come in here, you gotta get around the
You're
light.
supposed to come in here in the
Come on,
spotlight.
Sarah.
Steve, would you take these cookies and hide them somewhere?
Star.
There is
There's
Sarah
some
Jane.
napkins.
And this is one of my kid sisters, who's not a kid anymore.
Isn't she
Yeah, it
beautiful?
hasn't been
Yeah.
for a long time.
Come on,
How
Sarah.
are you, Sarah Jane?
Sound like me.
Fine. Fine as
We are in Dallas, Texas, and Sarah and I and Carol are leaving Monday morning for Wichita Falls, Texas, to see our Uncle Bill and Aunt Isabel.
this is a pilgrimage.
That's a pilgrimage, and we're also going to Lubbock, Texas, to visit our parents' grave there. And over there we have old Pinhead. There's Carol. Anyway,
By the way, I called Tam. She asked us to stay with her
stay with her where?
in her home.
You mean overnight? That wasn't the plan.
Well, I didn't tell her that we were. I just said we'd ask. I'd just see. I know we're going to have lunch with her. We already said we were having lunch on Tuesday together.
Well, maybe we'll drop you off and Carol and I'll
Well,
go pick cotton or something.
why can't you go eat lunch with us?
Well,
She's
Pam
friendly.
doesn't know us.
It's Tam.
Pam,
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't stop her from saying anything.
Well, shall we watch the Christmas video now?
which one? We have two.
We'll just watch ours first.
Why don't you want to watch mine first?
Well, I thought we were sleeping.
Because you're the guest, so you should watch ours.
Anyway,
If you want to.
whatever. Well, it's the morning of March what is today, the 10th?
I don't know, look at the paper. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's Sunday, March the 10th, I think. I know it's Sunday. I think it's the 10th. And we are at Cynthia's house, and we're looking out the window of her den into her little private forest back there. Very picturesque, and we have something blooming out there that's yellow. Is that daffodil, Cynthia? So spring is about to arrive here, or has arrived, I guess you'd say.
The redbud trees are blooming out there too.
Things are beginning to bud out. And speaking of blossoming out, here is my sister Sarah, who's always a blossom. Isn't she pretty?
Shut up.
Isn't she just absolutely gorgeous?
He just said that because I told him I didn't want to take my picture without my makeup.
Alan, have your camera ready so you can meet Becky when she walks in the door. Becky's never been on one of these things.
Never?
I don't think so. Has she ever?
Not here anyway.
I don't think she's ever been on any of the family videos, and you have it ready so I won't let her in the door.
Okay.
So you're standing there announcing her arrival.
Alrighty, I'll do that.
That's
So,
a suggestion.
walking from the den into the eatery. This is the
Some people
breakfast room.
call it a kitchen, Alan.
Here's Cynthia, who spent a large part of her time last night in the kitchen, and it
I
appears
did not.
yes, she did. We had lasagna for supper.
We had chicken lasagna.
Chicken lasagna.
I thought it was pretty good.
Do you remember when we had a chicken dish on Route 3, how Dad would prepare for that?
You mean go wring a chicken's neck?
He'd go get a chicken in the chicken pen, and he would wring its neck.
Well, that didn't really happen too often. Actually, we eventually, Mother would take them into town to the freezer plant, and they would kill them and take the feathers off and package them, and she'd put them in the freezer down there and also
Yes.
at home.
I remember that. But I also remember a few chickens that got their necks wrung.
What I remember, the rabbits.
Did we eat the rabbits?
You don't remember that?
I don't remember eating the rabbits.
Well, Daddy was, had this idea, he always had ideas. He was always doing something.
Yes.
Never bored.
Never an idle mind.
Never bored. And he was raising rabbits out there in the rabbit hutch, and then it's supposed to be for food. And then he killed a couple of the rabbits, and I remember sitting down at the table, and we knew the kids knew it was rabbit, and those rabbits that we've been looking at and making pets out of them. And I remember Daddy looking at Mother, and Mother looking back at him, and all the kids, they're like that. I think Daddy is the only one that ate the rabbit. I know we children wouldn't touch it because it was what's the bunny's name that's in the children's stories? I can't.
Bugs Bunny.
No. No. Peter Cottontail or something like that, It would be like eating Bambi if you were eating deer. That's the way we felt about it. That's just a little family history. It's not a very happy story.
I don't remember that.
You know?
Guess I have a mental block about eating dead rabbits. The alternative to eating a dead rabbit is to eat a live rabbit, so.
Oh, Alan.
But I do remember Dad dunking the chicken in the boiling hot water to loosen the feathers.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
Do you remember bringing the milk in for milking the cow?
sure, Ted milked the cow, though.
Yeah, I think Daddy did it in the morning, and Ted did it in the evening, and sometimes I could do it. And Daddy told me one time that I was the best milker in the bunch. I've never put that on a resume, but I don't know if that'd get me a better job or not.
Experienced milker.
Now nobody hand milks, they use the machines. Even if you just got a couple of cows, they do that. But anyway, do you remember bringing in those buckets of milk and putting them in the separator on the back porch?
Oh, I remember very well.
Now, some of the people in your audience out there, if there's an audience to this someday, will not know what a separator is.
Well, tell them. Tell the world what a separator is.
It separates the cream from the milk part.
Well, how did that process take
Well,
place?
the separator was like kind of like a tank thing went down like
It was
this.
just a big metal.
Yeah, it was
barrel
like
like
a tank thing that went down like this, and at the bottom it came to a point. And there was a little spigot thing on the bottom of it.
Yes, and
And
the
what-
cream was heavier than the.
The cream would rise to the top.
No, the cream would go to the bottom.
No, Alan, you don't see milk. Don't you remember milk bottles
You
with
know,
cream on the top.
I remember. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it comes back to me now.
And what you would do was you would leave it there for overnight, I think
Right.
you did.
And drain
And
off.
then you would drain off the skim milk.
That's right.
And you'd have to sit there and watch it.
Mm-hmm. Had a little glass window on the.
And when the cream started going down, then you would stop, and then you would have your cream.
And then we would take that cream and put it in the churn, and we would make butter.
Yeah, but it wasn't a churn like this, folks.
No, you turn it.
We had one from the Sears Roebuck catalog that had
a crank
gears on it.
That's right.
Had gears on it in the glass jar.
Yeah. How long ago has that been, Cynthia?
18.
Well, that would have been vintage 40s and early 50s.
Well, we moved to Route 3 in August of 1944.
August 14th, 1944.
And actually moved in the house on the 15th. We stayed in the motel the first night. In the Lubbock Hotel, first night. Remember that?
I don't remember staying in the Lubbock Hotel. I remember the date, August 14th, though, very well.
August 14th is when we drove into Lubbock. And Daddy had been there for a while, and he met us, and we stayed in the Lubbock Hotel the first night. So I don't think the people were out of the house completely or something. And then we went out the next morning. Can you imagine the courage of your mother? She had never seen this place.
Mm-hmm.
It was out in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what the house was like after coming from the house that we had on
Yeah, it was a...
Milton? Mother was only 33 years old.
Well, actually, it was just a two-bedroom home, and those two bedrooms were in the attic. Mother and Dad turned the dining room into their bedroom.
I don't call it an attic. It was an upper story that was in the. It wasn't an attic. An attic.
Yes,
it
it
was
was.
It out.
Well, it was finished out, but it was an attic. It had sloping ceilings
What's
on
the
it.
definition of an attic? An attic is above the top floor of your house, and it's not finished out. I hate people say, "I slept in an attic when I was a kid," like we were, some kind of poor people or something.
We were.
No, we weren't. We always had the best food. Always had the greatest food.
3 squares a day.
And Mother always had beautiful meals. Just great meals.
Yes. Yes, those were the days.
Another thing, I remember one time Daddy was cooking sweetbreads. And I remember in the broiler, had salt and pepper on them and butter. Pulled out that broiler that was in the bottom of that stove. Mm-hmm. And I asked him what sweetbreads were. And I remember Daddy got kind of red in the face, I said, what are they? Where are they from? I mean, are they from pig or cow or where are they? I mean, what are they? Where are they? And then he got kind of red in the face. And, well, I guess it's the part of the animal that makes it a male. Is what he told me. I believe it's what he told me.
Sweetbreads is the pancreas of the bovine
Then it
species.
wasn't sweetbreads. It was
Well, if you're talking about the part that comes from the...
mountain oysters or something.
Yeah, mountain oysters. Did he cook some of that stuff?
It was good.
God.
Yeah, it was good.
I didn't have
But
it.
I didn't realize then what I was eating.
Anyway, Cynthia is tackling breakfast here.
Well, we're very late because we're gonna have 2 meals today. We're gonna have a big breakfast and a big tea time at 4.
Sounds good. And somewhere
And I'm
back,
slow too.
somewhere back there, Carole is doing her face or something.
What do you make taking a picture of my door?
Well, we're outside in Cynthia's front yard now. I just thought I'd get a shot of her house here for posterity. Cynthia's lived in this house over 20 years. Let's see. I guess she's been here about 23 years. So, nice house. There's a creek behind the house back there. Well, it's still Sunday, March the 8th, 9th, 10th, March the 10th, 1991. And we're out in Cynthia's backyard. Off in the distance there is Sarah Jane. And she's trying to catch up with Cynthia and Carole, who are down there in the creek somewhere. There's a little creek that flows behind Cynthia's property here. This is the creek behind Cynthia's house. What do we have over there? Oh, ducks. Carol, turn around.
Well, what it is there's four or five storm drains that drain into this. And that's where it comes from. It comes from the street.
Sarah Jane?
It's a beautiful day. Get out of the way, Kathy. Get out of camera eyes. Spring. Well, I don't need to get him in.
Hi. I'm like,
How are you doing?
my door just
Hey, you
went
tried
open.
to scare her off. How you doing, Sarah Jane?
Hi.
What'd you do to your hair?
Hi. Really?
Let Carol, let me see.
Did you? Do what?
Well, you shaved.
Hi.
Didn't he?
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm not gonna hug you.
Hi, Arland.
He's been running around the straight crowd.
That's
Yeah,
right.
right. Those musicians,
Well,
you
I'm burning up
know.
film
Come
here.
I thought you were going to go in there.
Arland,
we're all in this room.
Whatever. Oh, you're filming us.
He waited so
He did. Oh, you still had film, huh?
Arlen, wave to the camera.
You
Oh,
knew
wait to the camera.
It's just a long lost brother.
Well, hi. You need to make some videos that make money, like $10,000 for that.
Can't we
video.
think
Guess
of
you're
something
falling off
funny to do?
something.
You
Yeah,
want me to fall
I
off
mean,
the
you know,
couch?
that'll be
The world's
easy.
funniest video or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Where is
this
Kathy?
Carole.
Oh, there she is.
Hello, Carol.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Is it really?
No, that's good.
Bottom of your viewfinder there with your own.
Uh-huh.
You're on.
Oh, gold.
And if you want to turn it off, just press.
There's Arland.
Go out the back.
But take a ride at the Cabrico
Dallas
stand.
is a big city.
You're in Cynthia's
That's
neighborhood.
right.
Start on it. Cynthia! Look, Cynthia.
Yeah.
Right.
Becky, is there anything you want to say to Alan's daughters?
Hi.
Oh, gosh,
Oh, I
hi.
love
You're so
that.
conversational.
And censor everything.
Who does
you
your
said.
script?
If you can't think of anything nice, don't
Don't
say anything at all.
That's right. Is that right?
If you can't say something nice about somebody, come and sit by me.
That is it.
Hi,
Still
Ellen.
Magnolia.
Hi there.
That's right.
Did you remember that line, Still Magnolia?
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Do I have what?
Are you having fun?
That's
I'm having a ball. I'm drinking coffee.
Secaucus said.
Hey.
What Olivia
With cinnamon in it.
Secaucus said.
I know, Mother's special
Everybody's
touch.
comment once. Everybody.
We ought to be at the Oye's house where there are 8 children. And spouses and kids. I mean, if you don't just keep talking, you're never going to get hurt.
There's
Don't
Mother's
wait
flowers.
long.
Here, take a picture.
Pansies, impatiens, begonias, and those little green and white ones are Dusty Millers.
You can take a picture of my black awareness.
Say hello to.
Black awareness. God. That's strange.
Arlen said they
Say
told
hello to
her
who,
she was
Alan?
gonna have to send somebody
Sabrina and Sherry
into
will
the
see
Black
this.
Awareness.
Yeah, you guys, Sabrina and
Really?
Sherry are going to see this.
Well,
If they're lucky, they'll get to see it, right?
Well,
This
Becky,
is your elderly Aunt Rebecca there on the left.
hi, Kathy, can we audition for the parks?
We've
for
already
advertising?
Yeah. I know.
You wanna do Holly dance, or you gonna do Holly dance?
Holly grip.
They're only knee high.
This is white. It's tight. Can get your shirts.
Hey, look, I can bite into a rock.
Thanks to new Super Poly Grip with its ultra low formula. Are you sticking your teeth out?
Look what Alan's doing. Look at what Alan's doing.
Is he sticking his teeth out? Ah!
Partial denture work.
The video game.
Do those fit? Becky, you don't know yet. Your film.
Oh, no, I don't know. I got 2 more pictures to take.
I took one.
I got you a picture.
I got batteries.
Becky,
Somewhere
you're on
Steve got the
camera.
battery.
Uh-oh. Well, why are you
7
backing
Up's
away?
the one for us.
Becky, Few people that are watching this tape are going to say, "Who is that over there?" And we should say what?
What did you get on your shirt?
Oh, is that what we should say? What did you get on?
What did you get on your shirt?
So this is Becky's. What did you get on your
Becky.
shirt? Solo.
If somebody is watching this tape and they want to know who he is, what should we say?
I picked him up on hitchhiking, and he looked like he needed
The
a meal.
guy that keeps her car running.
Guy keeps calling that.
Mr. Goodwrench.
Mr. Goodrich.
This is her personal auto mechanic.
That's right.
That's
Mr.
right.
Goodwrench.
That's my main squeeze.
You may squeeze.
The other squeeze.
Where's the
Oh, you're
main
my main.
squeeze?
You're my main squeeze.
The other squeeze.
Let me see you, sir.
Want to see my vacuum tube?
So we have Arland,
Hi, Kathy.
Arden, and Alan.
I do laundry.
Cynthia does laundry day.
So who else? Sherry and Serena will see this.
Oh, yes. Anything you want to tell
What
them?
did you get
Well,
up
first
here?
I want to tell
What you
Sabrina
put-
that
you
her
put
hair
your
looks
hands
great.
down there and went up
Mhm.
here.
It's on video. She looks great. She needs to quit running from the camera. And Sherry is a hoot.
Cheri, we're going to have torch for dinner and we're all going to like them.
Gonna have torch for dinner?
Yeah.
Tort.
Come on,
No, we
torch.
got a strawberry tart.
Some good torch.
Them's good. We're having homemade ice cream. When? Steve's for midnight supper.
Becky's homemade ice cream.
Work, Steve.
You said you were going to do it.
I said I'd help, but I didn't say
Yeah,
I'd
I'd
help.
Start helping.
Let's all talk country. Come on, let's all talk.
We
Texas.
want all his friends to know that he's from Texas.
We're high class folks around here. Ooh, that sounded
That sounded pretty good.
And Steve was telling us about his favorite ice cream flavor earlier, and it was not strawberry, it was not chocolate, it was salmonella.
I
Salmonella.
like it.
Salmonella.
Isn't that chicken poison?
No. That's a new.
Well, where did Jane go?
Venereal disease.
That's Steve's paramour or something. Jane, do you have a last name?
Zeka. That's
Deka.
with a Z. Zeka.
Zeka?
Uh-huh.
Huh. Are you a naturalized citizen of this country or immigrant?
I was born here.
You were born here and raised in Dallas.
Yeah, my family came on the boat.
Oh, from Cuba or what?
No, from Romania. No, I was born in Michigan.
I see.
She's a Yankee.
I'm a Yankee.
And what do you do for money?
For money? Anything I can. I'm in sales.
Oh, what do you sell?
Free enterprise.
You sell free enterprise?
I work for a lobby group, and I go out and talk to members and get them to contribute to the organization so we can continue to fight to save them tax dollars.
Where'd you get that big turtleneck?
I hurt my neck.
Jane got
Yeah,
rear-ended.
Jane got rear-ended in her car. And behind that turtleneck is a pad. There it is.
Aww.
There
We're
it
going to try and
is.
move it up and wear it up here, but
You wish.
we're going to go get some vacuum hoses.
Vacuum hoses on Sunday?
Yeah,
I didn't get me the neck brace.
up around her mouth.
And
Oh.
a six flat, Steve. Six flat.
X-Flex
Cover
wax.
my mouth. I
Six
won't.
flat.
Oh.
You want to go?
No, dear.
Okay, you can stay here.
Have fun, though.
Where's my key?
Arlen, do you want this Coke I bought you?
Where's my key? Here they are.
Why is it?
There's this terrible headache.
Really?
And you can't get the
I can't get the lid off.
Ah, you're on the air.
Alan, we're missing the Easter eggs here.
Hey!
I see.
We've changed from Easter eggs to Coors Light. Last time I was in the backyard, I was
Hunting Easter eggs.
collecting Easter eggs.
Last time we saw you, someone died.
I usually see you at.
This is our non-smoking family.
Yeah, you look incredibly sexy.
Anyway, that's Sharon.
Rachel Stone.
Sharon Rachel Stone.
Yeah, she had her own middle name.
Why do you always play that?
What is your middle name?
Sharon Rachel Stone.
Sharon, what is your middle name?
I didn't have one, so I gave myself one.
No.
Who's the tallest?
I think it's a toss-up, really.
Yeah,
You're both shrimps.
we're exactly the same height.
We have Duke,
David hasn't grown much.
No.
and there is David. David never did grow up. He's still.
Don't toast to that.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. We represent
The lollipop, the lollipop, the lollipop, the lollipop.
My family was always a very sophisticated bunch. And
You got that right.
where's the rest of everybody?
Last time I was in this backyard, I was collecting wheat grass.
Yeah.
Give me a shot of the chicken.
Steve is the master chef. Steve is burning some chicken.
Got my chicken mitts on.
Yes. Now I told Steve he shouldn't put the barbecue sauce on until the chicken is about done, but he's going to do it his way.
I think it needs to be turned over. Where's AW?
I just turned it over. Pappy always put his on.
Excuse me?
Didn't he?
Now, we don't have Daddy Pappy's old recipe, but we're trying to duplicate it.
Who is? You?
Did not escape from the camp.
I can't.
All the nurses.
I don't know. It depends on it.
Whose hands are bigger, Sharon's or Becky's?
Oh, my
Sure,
hands.
Becky's.
Yeah. Sharon has
Big hands.
She has her mother's
You know what they say about guys with big hands and
Some
big
guys,
gloves,
right.
big feet,
Yeah.
big gloves and big shoes, big gloves.
Some guys told me the other day, they said, you have a little boy's hand. I went, I do? Little boy's hand?
Panty check.
Candy check.
What does that have to do with boys' hands?
God, you are slow. She lives alone.
I'm not all the time. Yes, I do.
Hey, look.
Going back to your
ever-
hometown
Haven't
next
you
week.
ever heard about guys when they see
Check their panties to see if they're.
Hey, Jane.
Panty check on the
So what's the next step?
Oh, no.
Hello there. This is David's friend,
Hi.
and her name is what?
Susan.
Susan.
Not too late.
Susan just got her MBA from SMU.
You did?
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
She just told me she's interviewing with NCNB in the corporate lending office.
My goodness.
I don't guess I'll ever see her. I don't have a corporation. But, hey, got all sorts of branches here in Texas.
Where did-
Well, yeah, NCNB is Richardson is where I have my really, you know what NCNB stands for? North.
You got your MBA where?
At SMU.
Fantastic. That is great. You feel accomplished? Took a long time, didn't it?
3 years.
3 years post-grad.
What's the current PE ratio of Chrysler stock today?
It's not doing too that well, I don't believe.
Tubing. Yeah, it's because Lee's not in control anymore.
What was
Just makes
finance?
those commercials.
Was finance your specialization?
This girl's a brainchild.
Well, it's supper time around the old harvest table.
Dude, will you say the blessing, please?
A little late with that.
Right.
Who made the chicken?
Well, somebody say something to me.
Hello.
I think it was Sharon.
Briskets, excellent.
What's wrong with the chicken?
Never had to do that.
I like the potatoes.
Oh, you need to eat.
Well,
Take it for granted, you're always there to do things.
What do you think they are?
Sure, kids are like that. I was like that.
I don't remember it at all. Well, that's one of the reasons I want to go back to Lubbock. I want to see if got those old memories.
Happy
Well, it's 10 years since we had dinner here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you. And now you can tell us, everybody, this is all for you.
David's birthday party,
I'd also like to
1990.
toast my wedding
One.
anniversary.
That's
1 year
right.
to today.
Your non-wedding anniversary.
My non-wedding anniversary.
I'm starting to serve it.
To my fiance from
It
hell,
is.
Kim.
I'll drink to that.
I think it would have been
Hey, I got a witness.
another
This
X
is
in the
different
book.
potato salad, isn't it? Do you like
That's right, well,
it?
Steve, you do have the longest marriage.
Just think if I hadn't gotten married, I would not have been able to make it for dinner this evening
Mine was
because I'd be
a lot
out
longer than
taking out
Steve.
my wife for our first wedding.
Wow.
you might be home changing diapers too.
6 months.
You're back in the Steve Fawcett production studio. And this room stars Steve Fawcett. Hi, Steve.
Thanks for coming by.
Oh, yes. What do we have in the room here? Tell us what we are surrounded by.
By my life savings.
By your life savings.
Looks
Right?
good. That's right, looks good in here.
For the benefit of those watching this tape, what do you do back here, Steve?
Well, these are computers and synthesizers, and with them you create the illusion of magic, of music.
Let's see.
Magic.
Create the illusion of talent, huh?
See what ashtray back here?
You should.
No, it's just studio, just flipping on the floor.
Recognize this.
Yeah, that's what I do.
This was in Cynthia's kitchen forever.
It's good grandma's stone.
There's another one too.
So, we're going to have a dance party.
Okay, let's open the windows. We have a block party. Dance floor about. It's
Okay,
pretty.
play some music, Steve.
Play that
Jingle you just did for us.
Well, play some
everywhere
real
I
music.
stand, it's in the wrong place.
Here.
And this is Ted.
Hey, turn around.
Ted's oldest boy, Ted. Hi, Ted.
Hey, Al.
And on his left or right, we have, what's her name?
Miss Wichita.
I think Steve's getting ready here to do something.
We're going to turn something up real loud.
Is this the computer Rusty got me, Steve?
Oh, you need an ashtray?
I got one.
It's fine.
I got all set up.
Steve, play another song she did where it's really loud and you're real pissed
Just
off.
clear your space away.
Play the whole thing.
Okay.
3.
1, 2, 3, go.
Is that it?
Well,
Everybody sing.
this would have been good for that.
Steve, act like you're playing the piano so it'll be jumping.
Can you play something over that? Steve, play something over that. Add the...
Chorus, everybody has chorus.
It's a pretty sound. That's pretty sound, Steve. That's really pretty.
Raunchier?
Little R&B.
To elevator. Retell that story.
Wait a minute. I got to tell everybody where we are. Today is Monday, March the 11th,
What about Beulah?
1991. It's March 11th, 1991, and we are at Uncle Bill's and Aunt Isabel's, or should we say Aunt Isabel's and Uncle Bill's? Which should it be?
50-50. We don't own this house anymore.
And here is our very dear Uncle Bill, whom we think is a wonderful person. And here is our very dear Aunt Isabel, whom we love very much. And we think she's a wonderful person. And you know what? They think we're wonderful. How about that? Well, we're visiting the house here. And we've had lunch. And been doing a little reminiscing. Isabel, tell us something you remember.
Something I remember?
About it, you know, if you want to bring up some dirt, it's all right.
Well, I've been telling you all the dirt I know. I remember when you were little, Alan, and Teddy was little, and I remember when Edna and Lyndall started going together.
Oh.
I don't know if you've ever heard this story or
Oh
not.
boy.
Is this some more dirt or what?
No, but Edna she was my friend, and she'd come over and spend the night with me, and it got to where she'd go through the house searching for Lyndall.
Oh.
And whenever she found Lyndall, there she was. So,
You mean she chased him?
well, she made eyes at him. And so, and he fell for it. So when they started going together, this is a story on me, and it's not very nice. They started going together, and I said, now, Edna, I don't want you to get too crazy about Lyndall, because he goes with a girl for a while, and then he drops her and picks up another one. And so I don't want you to get too crazy about him. Well, they did go together, and they married, and she told Lyndall that.
Told him you said that?
Yeah. He didn't like it very well. But I was glad when they married, and I was in their wedding, and I remember the wedding.
Were you the matron of honor?
I was the maid of honor.
Maid of honor.
I wasn't married.
Oh.
Although I wanted to be married real bad. So I caught old Bill soon after that. And see, I lived with Mr. and Miss Bobo. You knew that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Dallas. I'd never been to Dallas. I wanted to go to Dallas, and Edna and Mr. and Miss Bobo were there. And so I said, I'll go and get a job. Well, my mother and daddy didn't much like the idea of me going, but I said, well, I'll give myself a month. And it was during the Depression, and jobs were scarce. But I stayed with the Bobos, and I did get a job. And Edna was working at Green's department store in the office. And all she did was write letters to Lyndall, and one day we were all sitting outside, Ms. Bobo and myself. And Ms. Bobo said, I get so bored, Julian won't go anywhere, and he won't take the car out, and we don't get to go anywhere. And Mr. Bobo was smart as everything, because he was building up his business, and he did keep that car in the garage, you know.
Yeah.
And we all went to town on the
Kept the
street.
same car for years in immaculate condition.
Yeah, and he did build up his business too.
He did good, right?
He certainly did.
But he was flat broke when he was like,
yes, he
what,
was.
45 years old?
Yeah, he was flat broke when he left here. But
Yeah. Well, what year was this that you lived with my grandparents? That was
1931.
1931.
What year did Linda marry?
Well, Cynthia was born in 1932, so they must have been married around
Well, it
1930.
was probably 1930.
Okay.
And then she married. I don't know how soon after she married that Cynthia came, but anyway, it was way back there. A long time ago. I always liked Mr. and Miss
Quit
Bobo.
putting that thing in your mouth, you're going to swallow it.
Uncle Bill,
Yeah.
where did you meet this lady on your right there?
At, I was up at a filling station and she called and found out that they needed a fourth to play bridge, and I went with her and I saw her knee, her left knee. And
Wait a minute, let's back up. You were at the filling station and they needed somebody to play bridge. I'm a little lost.
I was just up. We didn't have a telephone in my house.
Yeah.
I was a lawyer then.
I see.
And I went up there to use the phone, and while I got through with it, my wife now called, and I answered the phone, and I said to somebody, and she said, "Who?" Isabel asked Edna.
I asked Mabel.
Mabel, who would have said that, Bill Ballard. But it seemed to me that since that time I found out that Mabel and my wife now used to see me downtown, and they were arguing about which one was going to get me. and that's the damn thing, right? And here it is.
Now, that was Mabel Drinkard, or?
Mabel Drinkard and
Edna's.
they were arguing about which one was going to marry me. And this, my present wife, did get me, and
She won you, right?
she won my heart. She turned out to be, but particularly, I love her. But I think a whole lot of this fellow that visited me here today, Alan, and one of the things sweetest things I've ever heard was that he used to stand out on the highway waiting for my car to come.
And they lived on the highway.
And I thought that was so sweet of him.
Well, Bill, we always got real excited when you all were coming to see us, because we always, you know, when you all drove up in the driveway, that's when the party started. It was always a ball.
That's 210 miles. Gosh darn. Your daddy, Lyndall, started home one day to Lubbock. He had a wreck.
Ran into a cow, a horse.
And it happened in
A show horse.
a town we'll call A, between here and Lubbock. So he came back, and somebody fixed his car up, and he took your grandpa's car, and one Sunday I was going to bring his car to him, and we were going to meet in this town A, and I got there before Lyndall did, and I went over to the jail because I had represented a man who was for murder here in Wichita Falls, and I saved him from the electric chair, but they took him down to this little town we call A, and the night before I got there, he had killed the sheriff. So when I knocked on the door and I asked, I'm Mr. Ballard, Wichita Falls attorney, I used to represent this man up here. He said, I'd like to see him. About that time, all hell broke loose. And finally, they didn't do anything to me, but they thought I was part of the whole damn deal there for a minute. But this fellow who escaped and killed the sheriff about 10 or 15 hours before I got there. And you can see when I had to sit out there and wait for your daddy, Lyndall, to come, and I got back to Texas all right.
Well, did you represent this guy still who killed the sheriff?
I didn't represent. No, I wasn't going to represent him there. I represented him here in Wichita Falls.
Well, another killing.
Yeah.
He liked to kill people, huh?
Yeah. He killed him.
Well,
But imagine me knocking on that door, and I'm Mr. So and so. Oh my God, there comes that person that lives here. You
She
know,
got a camera too. Oh, we got a camera too. We're gonna take some pictures.
I'm going to get,
We're gonna
while
get
you're sitting there, just the two of you. Alan, yeah, get your foot down.
Can you see Bill too?
Yes, I
Yes,
can.
yes, yeah.
I've got both of you just real good. Smile.
You got it.
I never could smile. Now, when you get through with that thing, I'll tell you something else funny about your daddy.
What? You can tell.
If you see the red light flashing, you know he's taking a picture.
Well, anyway, when I was working in Dallas, and Edna got married, and then we got married, so I moved in with a friend of mine, girlfriend.
I'm glad you mentioned the girlfriend.
I'd wait for that.
Well,
too.
they weren't living together much in those days, without being married. Anyway, and then my office closed because of the depression. So I came home, and I couldn't find a job. So Linda came home, your daddy came home one day, and he said, well, I got a job for you. Well, I said, okay, what is it? He said, boy, I went to college with is county agent out at Guthrie, Texas. He needs a secretary. Well, this boy had married the girl I knew, so he came to see me and hired me. So your daddy put me in the car and took me out to Guthrie, Texas. I don't know what he had against me, but anybody that would work in Guthrie, Texas.
I don't remember him talking about that much, but I know he did that.
Anyway,
Guthrie, Texas is just a little small Texas town, right?
Yes.
nothing there but the courthouse.
And some cows and a few people.
So I had a room in a house behind a cafe. And every night the cow would come up to the window and moo right in my window. And there wasn't an inside potty. You had to go outside. And every day Mr. McGee would come by and pick me up, and we'd go out in the country and visit the farmers to see who wanted to sign up with the NRA. Well, it was awful hot out there.
NRA is National Rifle Association?
Recovery or something.
Yeah.
I was during
It was the FDR.
Roosevelt.
Yeah.
So we'd go out and sign up the people, and then we'd go back to the courthouse and write up the forms. And there was no windows on the courthouse, and the wasp would come by, zooming by while I was typing. And the only thing I did that was enjoyable was to go across to the post office to see if I had a letter from Bill, because I had met him by that time.
Did he ever come down to Guthrie to see you?
No, he never did come to Guthrie. He just would write once in a while. So I guess I stayed there, month maybe or 2 months. And Daddy wrote me that the Texas company needed someone to take the summer vacation places. So I came on back home and worked for the Texas company.
Well, you was working for the Texas company before we got married.
Yes, I was.
And you had it. Your last paycheck was $70. You remember? And we were putting money in a cigar box to live on, and you put that damn check in there. And all during the time we got married, I had $45 when we started out. We spent the first night and actually there in Austin, and the next night we were there in Dallas, and the next night in Fort Worth, and the next night we came home. And then I got to look in that box. We had a hell of a lot of money, nickels and dimes and quarters, and I looked in that damn box. First thing I did, that damn check was gone. She had bought clothes with it, and I still want that. And all of it. She said, "Well, I'll pay you back." Now that's been 60 years ago, and she hadn't worked in. She never, but see you'll pay me that.
You haven't forgotten it.
I damn sure won't forget
I
it.
have paid you back in many, many ways.
Two shots of Bill and Isabel's house. This is looking into, well, I guess you call it a den. This at one time was a patio, but they roofed it in, glassed it in, and now it's a real nice looking little lounge area. And this room opens into their living room.
We use that expression.
See this is a painting by my Uncle Lauren. Lauren, as probably most of you know who are watching this tape, was quite an artist. That was his lifetime career. And he worked for many, many years, well, all his working years, for a big advertising agency in New York City, Compton Advertising, and he was the art director in that city. He retired in 1960, lived for about another 28 years, and devoted most all that time, or much of that retirement time, to painting. This is a watercolor. He eventually switched to oils. But when Lauren passed away, we understand that he probably had paintings in the hundreds, and some of those are still for sale. This is another watercolor that our Uncle Lauren did. Bill was telling me, Uncle Bill was telling me a few minutes ago that this painting was actually made in his garage right here in this house. Not too many years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, Bill and Lauren went out in the country and did some sketching. Bill is somewhat of an artist himself, and this painting here, Bill tells us, is a composite of many things they saw out in the country that day. The old house there, old ramshackle house. Back there in the back is a little outhouse. Down here is an old wagon wheel someplace. Anyway, I don't know how the color's showing up in on the film here, but this is various hues of a rust color, I guess you'd call it. And the skies are gray. And we get the impression it's a fall scene. This is a painting that was done by our cousin Marcia, Bill and Isabel's oldest daughter. Here is actually a copy of a painting that Uncle Lauren did some years back, and the copyist was Bill. Bill copied it, and again in watercolors, as was the original. Painting here by Marcia. Marcia did that one. Don't know who did this one. This is another painting by Uncle Bill. It's an impressionist type watercolor. This is a photograph of our Uncle Bill, and this picture obviously was made quite some time back. He would be in his 20s here, I'm sure. Trouble focusing this in, but this is some of our old folks. On the upper left-hand corner is a photograph of my Grandpa Stone. This is my father's father. These pictures, of course, made many years ago, and there's my Grandma Stone, Dad's mother, in the upper right-hand corner. And down here on the right, let's see, that would be Lauren on the right center. And this would be my Uncle Lauren, my dad's brother. And this is my, oh, wait a minute, this is Uncle Lyle there on the right. Uncle Lauren on the left. And the little baby you see here is a picture of my father. And down here is Aunt Isabel as an infant. I wish we can get a better focus of these, but get some idea.
This one, Alan.
Okay, here's another picture made many, many years ago. This is the 4 siblings in my father's family. Going from right to left, there's Aunt Isabel as a little girl. And immediately behind her would be my father, Lyndall Stone. And then immediately behind my dad would be Uncle Lyle. And then the last one, going right to left, would be, and the tallest one in the picture would be Uncle Lauren. All of these people, all the boys have passed away. Anyway, pictures of people in years gone by. To their house, again, this is the living room, looking into their den area. Bill and Isabel are art enthusiasts. They have a number of paintings all over the house. Some of them done by family, yes, some not. But practically on every wall and every room in the house, they've got paintings. Mostly watercolors, some oils. Bedroom. And you go down the hall, and we have another bedroom on the right here, which has been turned into a little parlor. And again, we've got more artwork. I don't know if this is going to show up. This is Bill's license to practice law in the state of Texas. I don't know what's coming out, and yeah, I think it'll come out. You notice he was issued this license on the 28th day of October, 1931. So Bill practiced law in the great state of Texas for many years. Incidentally, here's a picture of Bill's father. And I have no idea what year that picture was made. I never knew this man. He either died before I was born or passed away when I was just an infant. Uncle Bill Ballard's father. Some more paintings they have. These are on the walls in the little parlor area. Oh, this is a painting by Bill Ballard too. Marcia painted this one, I'm told. I don't know who did that one. Here's another painting done by Bill Ballard. And for the skeptics in the audience, there's proof. There is his signature right there. This is supposed to be a self-portrait by Marcia, our cousin Marcia, Bill and Isabel's oldest daughter. But, nice painting, but Marcia doesn't look like that. This is Marcia's wedding portrait. And Susan's, my cousin, and Isabel and Bill's youngest daughter. And I want you to know these are beautiful women. True. Another picture of Marcia there. Yeah, but you're standing in front of that bright window.
Oh, that won't do it.
How about posing over here?
That's better.
We're just about the same height. If I take my high heels down.
You know, you don't really have to pose for a motion picture.
Yes, but it's fun.
What all the movie stars do.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not familiar with what movie stars do. I don't run in that crowd.
Well, I look at them.
There's my Aunt Isabel. Doesn't she look young?
Yes.
In her, that dress we would call persimmon.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
guess
I
so.
mean. I remember the Dan real well.
I did get a good compliment though. Well, I'm not going to tell that machine, I'll tell you.
Okay.
You full of good humor and jokes.
Let us take you now, Alan.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I wanted to get you
Hi.
and Sarah and your family.
I was just,
Okay.
I was just gonna tell you what Marcia, my oldest daughter, said to Isabel one day when they were washing dishes. Isabel said that Lyndall had 6 children. Marcia said to Isabel, "You mean they had intercourse 6 times?"
Oh, no.
Well,
That's how innocent my daughters were.
well,
Brides are always thinking about if their hair looks pretty and if their dress is nice and if the candles are all straight and lighted and all these shallow things.
We didn't have a big wedding, we just went down to the church and the preacher had been out most of the hill. But I did have a pretty suit. I had a real pretty suit. It was apple green and the top was satin. And then I had a fingertip coat and a bucket fur collar.
this is your wedding dress?
Ooh.
Where did you go on your honeymoon, Isabel?
I went to Dallas and Fort Worth.
Again?
And
At least you
when
knew
we
your
got
way
to
around.
Dallas,
Well, at least you went somewhere where you knew your way around, huh?
when we got to Dallas, we stayed at the office, and then the next morning we called Mr. Bobo, and he took us to breakfast.
He sure did. And not only that, he showed us every building in town. And you know how Mr. Bobo saved his money? You know how that? When he left Wichita Falls, he was like everybody else. He was busted, but he was working for a exchange. It was not a big exchange, you see.
Rouser Pierce.
All right, yeah, and he's selling mutual funds. And mutual funds. I still have some. I got some mutual funds, and when they pay a dividend, you can buy. I got all my dividends.
Came to you rather than being
reinvested. And that little devil, Mr. Bobo, took. You can say mutual fund sells anywhere from $1 to $50, $10, $30, and when he would sell his mutual funds to his clients, he always took part of his commission that particular month or week, and he invested a certain percentage of his salary in mutual funds, and that's when he died. That's what Mr. Bobo had.
Yeah, and then when grandmother died, and mother died, we got it.
Albany.
Well-
It was all divided up 8, 6, and 8 ways.
Well, let me ask
Well,
you
no,
this.
it's about.
We're looking here at a house on 61st Street in Lubbock, Texas, and the mother and dad and Sarah and Becky and Arden lived here for a while. These trees, Sarah tells me, Daddy planted. How many years ago would that be, Sarah? I don't guess you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me above all this wind, but what we're looking at is our old home place in Lubbock, Texas. This is our old home place minus the home. We used to have a house right in there, and on beyond around those trees, and just to the left we had a couple of chicken houses and a barn. We had a 5-acre plot which stretched, I think, from about that tree line over to that fence, if you can see it. And now it's nothing but farmland. Tore our house down and all the barns and chicken houses.
So where did your house sit?
we're looking at there, Arden and Teddy and Cynthia, if you see this, that is the roof line of the Nix house, just across what is now Interstate 27. So I would be standing at about the, let's see, this would be the, what would it be? This would be the southeast corner of our property right there. What I'm looking at here, I think, is the remnants of our old well house.
I should ask for some water.
Haven't had any commentary here. I thought it was would be pretty self-evident what's going on, but we are at Rest Haven Cemetery in Lubbock, Texas, and this cemetery is the purpose of our trip to Lubbock, was to visit our parents' grave. What you're seeing right now is Sarah putting some water on the flowers that we have just put on David Fawcett's grave, and his grave is just to the left of Mom and Dad's grave, which is right here. A moment ago you saw the flowers laying flat on top of the tombstone or tomb plate, whatever we call it, the plaque, but then Sarah and Carole decided it would look a little better if we had them in a vase, so they put them in the vase, which is a permanent part of that plaque there, and they wired them into that vase and stuffed some colored paper around it. Those what we have there are some carnations and roses. And Sarah thought we needed some water in there, so she went over and got some water from this cemetery crew who just happened to be lowering a casket into a grave here, which follows a funeral that concluded here about 30 minutes ago. When we first got out here, we couldn't find it. We looked and looked and looked and just couldn't find Mom and Dad's grave and David's grave, and the reason we couldn't, there was a great crowd around this tent here for a funeral that was in progress, and then after they left, we came over and there Mom and Dad were. We visited with Uncle Bill and Aunt Elizabeth yesterday in Wichita Falls, and on the way out, Uncle Bill said to tell Mom and Dad hello. So Mom and Dad, hello from your brother-in-law, Bill Ballard, and your sister, Isabel. We're in Dallas, Texas, and continuing on with our tape of our trip to Texas in March of 1991. This is the street that I lived on, my family lived on, when I was a little boy. We lived on this street from my age, from about 3 years old to 6 years old. This is Milton Street, and it looks the same as it did when I lived here, other than the trees, all quite bigger. And there is the house we lived in right there, 3209 Milton Street. And I remember very much about this house. This house had 5 bedrooms, 2 baths, living room, large dining room. Used to have an old frame garage down, well, there used to be a driveway there, went back to a garage back there. But the house looks the same. The amazing thing about it is this house looks the same as it did exactly when we lived here. The house has really been kept up all these years. Mother and Daddy, I remember telling me they paid $7,500 for this house. And that would have been in about 1941, I think, 1940 or 41. And Cynthia tells me that it sold last year for $175,000. I don't know where she got her information, but that's what I call appreciation. And over there, that's where our neighbors, the Matsons, lived. I remember when I was a little boy, I was out in the front yard here playing with a casting rod, little fishing rod that somebody gave me, and I drew back to do a cast. I had a hook on the fishing line. And little Beth Matson was over there in her front yard, not too far away. And as I drew back the cast with the fishing rod, I hooked the fishing hook in her wrist. Anyway, there's the house we used to live in. We moved from here in August of 1944 to Lubbock, Texas. I used to walk down this street to school. Yeah.
Tell the camera that you live next door to the Matson.
Yeah. Yeah, I did say that.
Get that house across the street, the sweet one with all the tulips.
Carole wanted to get a picture of the house with all the tulips. Anyway.
Comes a car. Did you get it?
Yeah. The water tower looks the same. Carole, what is it? I'm trying to narrate here and you keep interrupting me.
Let's
What?
pull up front of the house and take a picture of the front door. It's so pretty. Head on. Crepe myrtles out here all along the front. Nobody made trees out of them. They were all bushes. That house right there. Seems like they were bad people. Remember? Couldn't play with those kids. Yeah, the one back.
Carole, move up a little bit.
A junkie house.
Carole, going to move up to the edge of the house.
Right over here, Alan, on this side where that door is,
Stop.
where our sand pile was.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, move up a little more. You're right in front of the post, Carole. Stop. Okay. Right in there, we had a sand pile.
Right.
Well, on the other side of that wooden door, which wasn't there, we had a big sand pile.
There was a bunch of shrubs, big tree-like shrubs that were in there. Can't think of the name of the shrub, but it had waxy green leaves and little purple berries on them. Does that look us tree? That's not look us tree. But anyway.
We're still playing a trip down memory lane, and this house is on Westminster Street, which is just a few blocks up from Milton Street. This is the house that we lived in when I was born. So this is the first house that I ever lived in my whole life on Westminster Street. And quite by coincidence, Carole and I happen to live on Westminster Street now in Albany, Georgia. It's even spelled the same way, W-E-S-T-M-I-N-S-T-E-R. I, of course, don't have any memories of this house, but I was just a baby. Cynthia, you remember the address here? Yeah, but I think part of it's been scraped off there. What is it, 2432 or something? Cynthia tells us the house looks like it did when we lived in it, except the house is white. And it's a little run down right now.
Look at the house across the street.
So, that's where I lived 54 years ago.
Alan,
What?
take a picture of the house across the street.
Carole wants to get a picture of the house across the street. This house has no significance at all to our family history, but Carole wants to get a picture of this house, so there it is. Just think, once upon a time, I was a little 7 or 8 pound baby carried through that door in my mother's arms, or daddy's.
Come on.
Well, continuing on here, we are now looking at a grade school in Dallas, Texas, but not just any old grade school. This is the grade school that Cynthia and Teddy and yours truly started the school in. It's the University Park Grade School, located on Lovers Lane in University Park in Dallas. As you can see, if it's coming through, this school was built in 1928. University Park Grade School. I went to school here for 2.5 years, first grade, second grade, and 1/2 the third. We had half grades then. Actually, I started school midterm. I was in I completed what they call the low third grade when we moved from Dallas south to Lubbock, Texas. I used to walk to school every day to this school. Looks just like it did, according to my memory anyway. What it looked like, got it 48 years ago. We had a pretty park right across the street from it too. And abandoned off in the distance there, we have Carole and Cynthia walking around. Anyway, that's where I went to school, and that was back when we had dinosaurs on the earth. We're at this little park right across from University Park Grade School. I say little park, it's a pretty good sized park. Looks like it's maybe 20 acres or so. And Cynthia is across the creek, over there behind yon tree.
Alan, come and see where Ted fell in the creek.
Huh?
Come see where Ted fell in the creek.
Come see the head that fell in the creek.
Where Ted fell in the creek.
Ted's in the creek down there? Come see where Ted fell in the creek.
Tell him about Ted falling. See that dam over there? He walked across it, and Cynthia said it had moss on it and everything, and he started weaving around, and instead of falling to the right in the big lake in the pool, he fell to the left down there in the shallow water, but he got wet.
Did they ever get him out?
Yeah, but Cynthia was afraid that was the end of Ted.
Oh. No, I don't remember that.
Come around here.
Fell in that dam right there. Or fell off that dam right there, I guess. Huh. Well, I almost lost her brother, I guess. When we would walk home from school, we'd walk through this park. Actually, we would walk, there's a school, just to give you a perspective. And we would walk across that way. There is eldest sibling. Cynthia probably has more memories of this area than any of us since she was the oldest at the time.
Remember having picnics down here?
No.
We used to come down here, and it was very different from what it is now. All of these storm sewers and things were not here.
Well, was the creek there?
Yes, the dams, the old dam over there.
Yeah, Carole was just telling me you said Teddy fell off that dam once.
Yes, it was an absolute no-no. We were not supposed to walk through here on the way home from school, but Ted was known for occasionally digressing from what his parents wished him to do.
No.
And I swear, thinking back, that dam looked like it was 20 feet high to me. Of course, I was only like in 3rd grade. He walked across on the top of the dam, and I said, Ted, don't do that, you're going to fall.
Oh, you were with him?
Yes. Scared me to death. He started back across, and it was mossy on top of the dam. Carole, you may have already told this.
A little, but not the whole.
But he got right there, almost across, and it got slippery when he took a step, and he just teetered back and forth, going from the deep side to the shallow side like this, you know, trying to catch the balance, and I was like that, and he fell. To this day, I can close my eyes and see him fall on the shallow side.
He fell on this side of the dam?
If he fallen on the other side, this would be another tale that we'd be telling here. Because we were the only ones back there. There was no one else in this car.
Well, was the water over his head then?
Of course, it's as deep as it is now.
Well, how'd he get out? He couldn't swim, could he?
You missed the whole point, Alan.
He didn't fall on the deep side.
He fell on the shallow side.
Well, I asked you if the water was over his head over on this side, and you said yes.
You didn't say
on that side, you said.
Oh.
Just like that. Exactly. Except there was some water coming over the top of the dam, and it was mossy when you walked through there. But he just teetered, and if he fall on the other side, there was nothing he could do. He would have gone.
Swim, you couldn't either.
Now, he'll tell you he was probably a champion swimmer and been okay.
You'd probably say you made him do it.
No, I didn't. Yeah, because I said, you're going to fall, Ellen. Steve.
Teddy. Teddy was his name. You probably dared him to do it.
But this used to be very shallow down here and would flow across to White Rock. Like this, by the way, is White Rock Creek. And we would wade and catch crawdads and minnows down here. But the lake was not where it is now. It was over further this way. And what I think they did was put in this drainage system and dredge out a new course for that part of the lake. Alan, get away from the sun. Go back the other way.
Just turn the camera.
Oh, yeah, toward the sun.
No, don't aim it at the sun. Aim it toward us.
That's
Look, we're on TV. Look, Cynthia. This is live. Let's pose for the camera. Hi there. This is Northridge Elementary School. This is where Sabrina went to grade school in Dallas many years ago. Let's see, I'm trying to remember what grade Sabrina was in here. I think it was the 3rd grade. She went to grade school in Fort Worth for a while, and then we moved over here to Richardson, and here's where Sabrina went to grade school for a couple of years. Looks the same as it did back then. That would have been in about 68, 69, 70, 71, somewhere in that time frame. This is Northridge Elementary School in Richardson, Texas. We're now at 405 Wooster Way in Richardson, and this is where we lived, oh golly, I'm losing track of the years, 1969, 70, and 71. I guess we lived here, actually I think it was about 2.5 years. Carole and I and Sabrina lived there. 405 Wooster Way, Richardson, Texas. When we lived here, those 2 big trees you see in the front yard there were just little bitty fellows, probably, oh, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 feet tall. And that cedar was also quite small too. That cedar was also maybe 5 feet tall when we lived here.